Welcome, class. We're going to start with our first Algebra I lesson. It's very exciting. Welcome to the world of algebra. But before that, we're going to do a little pre-algebra just to test our skills, know where we're at. And the first thing we always talk about is order of operation. Okay? Overlooked skill, but it's very important. So we talk about a problem like this. I have 15 times 3 minus 6 plus 5. Okay? Normally, what will we do here? Anyway, we're going to work from left to right. We have multiplication, subtraction, addition. We're going to work from left to right. I say that 15 times 5 is 45 minus 6 plus 5. I'm going to say that 45 minus 6. Now, remember, we have subtraction, addition on the same line. I'm just going to work left to right. So I say 45 minus 6 is 39 plus 5, and our whole answer is 44. Okay, nice simple one, and we're going to do a couple of these problems, make sure we really understand the order of operation. And now if I have 2, I have 6 minus 3 squared divided by 3 times 5 minus 10. Okay? Now, always we work inside parentheses first. We do our grouping first. 6 minus 3 gives us 3 squared divided by 3 times 5 minus 10. And we notice how each line gets simpler. 3 squared gives us 9. Divide by 3 times 5 minus 10. And again, here I have that same thing. I have division and multiplication on the same line. I'm just going to work left to right. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then we have 3 times 5 minus 10. And again, multiplication always comes before subtraction. And we say that 15 minus 10 is equal to 5. Okay? Do a couple more of these just to get you guys into the mood, into the swing of things. And again, this is all pre-algebra, just some skills that we should be very comfortable with before we jump into the wonderful world of algebra. Okay, so number 3 says that 6 squared minus 5 squared plus 13 times 2 minus 7. Okay, again, I go inside the parentheses. We have 6 squared minus 5 squared, which is going to give us 36 minus 25 plus 13 times 2 minus 7. Okay? Again, inside the parentheses first, 36 minus 25 gives us 11 plus 13 times 2 minus 7. Our next step here, do we work from left to right? No, we have to multiply 13 times 2, so we just write 11 plus 26 minus 7 equals 11. Okay? Again, now working from left to right, I get 37 minus 7, which is just 30. Okay? Again, some prerequisite skills you want to have before we jump into the world of algebra. A couple other things. Now, let's say we're given the problem, let 3 equal x, or x equals 3. And we say now that we're given the problem 5x squared minus 7 plus 10. What does that equal? What are we going to do? First thing we want to do is substitute in our x squared. And anytime we substitute from now on, always use your parentheses. Plus, if you're using your scientific calculator, your fancy scientific calculator, your graphing calculator right now, and you use the parentheses, it's less chance of making mistakes. So we take a look and we say that 5, we're going to substitute in our x for our 3 squared minus 7 plus 10. What does that equal? Again, with respect to order of operation, the 3 squared comes first. So 3 squared is 9. So it's going to be 5 times 9 minus 7 plus 10. We know that 5 times 9 is 45. Minus 7 plus 10. So again, with respect to order of operation, we say 45 minus 7 is 38. Plus 10 gives us a nice 48. So when x equals 3, this expression, this is equal to 48. And we see our work right down here. And let's look at some more. Let's leave x as 3. And we look at another one of these. And we say that x squared minus 2 times x plus 5 minus 6. Okay, so here's our another expression. We're going to replace our 3 everywhere with our x. Okay, our x is going to be replaced with 3. So we say that 3 squared minus 2 times 3, and use the parentheses, plus 5 minus 6. Okay, again, with respect to order of operation, we work on the inside. We say that 3 squared is 9, 9 minus 2, 3 parentheses plus 5 minus 6. And right here, it is a little, you don't have to put the parentheses again. I'm just doing it because I said use parentheses when you substitute, but 9 minus 2 is 7 times 3 plus 5 minus 6. Again, multiplication comes first. Multiplication will come before addition and subtraction. So we multiply 7 times 3 is 21, plus 5 minus 6. 21 plus 5 is 26 minus 6, and our whole answer is just equal to nice and even 20. Okay? So there is all our work there with respect to the order of operation. Not too bad. So again, this should be just review for a lot of us, and we should be very familiar with the order of operation, substituting in values, and all that good stuff right here. And in some more reviews, I want to talk about sign numbers. Often most mistakes that you make while doing algebra is because of sign numbers, tricky sign numbers. And of course, let's talk about some sign numbers and get that stuff out of the way. So we'll say sign numbers. We know the simple facts. We say that 10, so we'll say that 10 minus 3 is equal to 7. But what if we run into we flip it around, it makes things a little harder. What if I say that now 3 minus 10 is equal to 7? 3 minus 10 is equal to 7. Now, when it comes to adding and subtracting sign numbers, I want you to think of every number, forget about the operation of subtracting. Everything is going to be adding 2 sign numbers, adding a plus and a minus sign number, adding 2 negative sign numbers, or just adding 2 positive sign numbers. And I'll talk about that more in a second. But forget about the idea of subtraction. So when it comes to this one right here, I have 3 minus 10. So we're going to do what we call keep, change, change. We're going to keep the sign of this. We're going to change that subtraction to a plus. This was a positive, so I'm going to change it now into a negative. Negative. So now what I'm doing is I'm adding a positive number to a negative number. And the way we're going to think about that, is if I say that 3 plus negative 10, and I always say to my students, think about money. You have $3 in your pocket, but you owed me 10 from yesterday. You're going to give me the $3 in your pocket, but when we're all said and done, you're still going to owe me $7. So you're negative 7. So again, that's where the most mistakes will take place when we're doing algebra, is when we're working with sign numbers. So let's take a look at another one of these. This time we'll say that we have negative 5 plus negative 3. Negative 5 plus negative 3. Again, let's think about you owing me money. You borrowed $5 from me yesterday to pay for your lunch, and today you needed to borrow another $3 to pay for your lunch again. So now, since you keep owing me money, we're going to say that you lost 5, you lost 3, you've lost $8 altogether. We add up. So we're adding 2 sign numbers, 2 negative numbers. Okay? And then 4. So we have a negative 12 minus a negative 7. What is that going to give us? Again, so subtraction. When it comes to subtraction, we have to think of keep, change, change. So we're going to keep the negative 12 the way it is. I'm changing this negative, the subtraction, into a positive. I'm changing this negative into a positive. So now when we look at this, we say that it's, you owed me 12 from yesterday, but you do have 7 today after you pay me.